While Republicans are set to get their Supreme Court nominee, remaking the court into a 6-3 conservative supermajority, which is sure to, of course, set all progress back decades, you have the Democratic Party, who is already surrendering in a show of pathetic weakness, starting with, of course, Senator Dianne Feinstein. Feinstein, who said that if Democrats were to win back the Senate, she would not be in favor of packing the courts, going along, of course, with Tim Kaine. She says, quote, "I don't believe in doing that. I think the filibuster serves a purpose. You would, of course, have to eliminate the filibuster and then, again, pack the courts to get as many nominees as you could to offset the conservative majority." Now, here's the thing about the court. You can actually do that. There's nothing in the Constitution that says that you can't, pack the courts, that you can't have more than 9 justices. So generally, we try to avoid doing that. But in the case of, having Trump in the ultra-conservative Supreme Court, you would have so many rights that are on the line: women's rights, LGBT plus rights, labor rights, environmental, regulation, healthcare, things that are super, super important would be just stymied, completely stopped, blocked. We've got to do something about it. And so that's the issue. So now, why is Dianne Feinstein completely wrong? Well, I think it should be pretty obvious, okay? Look, I know she's 80 plus years old, but does she not remember Mitch McConnell and his unprecedented obstruction? When he was minority leader during the Obama administration, he led the Senate. And this is between 2013 and 2014. This is Democrats' last 2 years in the majority. This is 1 year. He did 252 filibusters. 252. And that's way up higher than any he's ever done before. Okay, and so that is a big, big problem. That right there forced Harry Reid into eliminating the filibuster during his time as majority leader before losing the Senate to Republicans, which of course has led us to our current problematic situation. And so Dianne Feinstein, though, is basically saying, I'm not going to fight back. Why? Why would you not fight back at this? Why would you not use the tools that are available to you? Why? Why do you never fight? Why do Democrats never, ever fight? Speak about that, right? Pelosi. What about Pelosi? She's, here's what she said. Quote, "We have arrows in our quiver that I'm not about to discuss right now. But the fact is, we have a big challenge in our country." Now, this was a couple of days ago. She said, ultimately, the best tool in our arsenal is to, quote, "just win the election," and then encouraged everyone to vote. Okay, but how the hell is that going to solve our current problem? How is getting you back into power after they do all this going to help? How? We are going to have a conservative court for now decades. They're going to rule against everything that is even vaguely progressive. They could get rid of the ACA, Obamacare. Gone during a pandemic, causing millions of people to lose their health insurance. And you refuse to do anything to try to prevent this nomination, which you certainly could gum up the works. Yes, Nancy Pelosi, I realize that she is in the House, right? And that the House is pretty limited. But there are ways that she could gum up the works and to make it so that it is much more time-consuming to get things through Congress. But yet she's taken basically every weapon off the table, okay? And so here's the thing. Well, I mean, you just go vote. Oh, now look, I'm an advocate of voting. I think that voting is pretty important, right? But at the same time, why should we vote for you if you suck, if you do nothing? Why? Why should Democrats vote for you over someone else? Why should we vote for you if you're not going to do a goddamn thing? That's the problem, okay? That's the question. And again, I'm not saying we should let Republicans win. No, that'd be stupid. But why the hell should we support you? Why should you call yourself a master legislator? What have you done other than kill Medicare for all? What has Dianne Feinstein done for us lately? Nothing. Nada. We got to get rid of them. We got to replace Pelosi. We've got to replace Dianne Feinstein. We have to get rid of these terrible corporate Democrats. I mean, for God's sake, you could even try to impeach William Barr. It's not like he hasn't done enough to warrant it by getting himself personally involved in things that the Department of Justice shouldn't be involved in. Okay? Now, some reactions here. Addie Barkin is an activist who is dying, Medicare for All activist. He said, if Manchin and Feinstein are not willing to abolish the filibuster, it's another Democrat, barely a Democrat, then they need to be stripped of their chairmanships of the Energy and Judiciary Committees. Schumer must do this or lose his primary in 2022. Oh my God, could you imagine if AOC primaried Schumer and won? Yeah. Peter Dow says, first Pelosi surrenders, then Schumer, now Feinstein. Remember when I said not to count on the establishment Democrats to fight for the SCOTUS? In fact, remember how they rolled over as McConnell stole Merrick Garland's seat? Yes, I do remember. Pepperidge Farm remembers. We all remember. Manchin and Feinstein are literal Republicans. Democrat in name only. And that's it. All right. David Atkins says, we had a chance to replace Feinstein with Kevin DeLeon. I do remember that race. We were right. This is why we were right. And everybody who got upset about it was wrong. Yeah. There's more. Republicans get the system is rigged, that it's illegitimate and anti-democratic. That's why they exploit it and use it against us. Democrats like Feinstein believe the system is inherently good, reflecting an ancient wisdom, a fiction leading to bad strategy and no results. To that, I say, who do you think rigged the system in the first place? Yeah, of course they benefited from a rigged system. Both sides do. And unfortunately, both sides are more concerned about their reelection and their power than to actually do the right thing when it comes to policy. They have forgotten the reason that they were supposed to be sent to Congress. All right. Cenk Uygur, he said this on Twitter. It's a great tweet. Pelosi has taken the debt ceiling and the budget off the table. Tim Kaine took impeachment and expanding the court off the table. Feinstein is also against expanding the court. In the span of 48 hours, Democrats have taken almost the entire arsenal off the table on RBG's seat. What happened to the quiver that Pelosi was talking about? Apparently, the only thing left is why don't you just vote for the same people that allowed Republicans to steal 2 SCOTUS seats? I don't know about you, but that is a pretty terrible choice. It seems like no choice at all, really. Look, we need to replace these weak, feckless Democrats. Primary the hell out of them. Protest in their offices. Blow up their phone lines with coals. Stop sending them money. Stop supporting their reelection campaigns. Look, if they're not going to fight for us, why the hell are we going to fight for them? Why support them at all? Look, I understand we need to defeat Trump, number one, right? That is the number one priority. But as soon as we do that, we've got to come after the establishment. We need to come for the establishment and not stop until they are defeated.